Welcome home.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to Australia.
We're rattled. Yeah, we're back. It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm no longer jet lagged, but I'm still kind of getting used to being home.
Just gonna be back in a new studio, trying out some new things.
Yeah, watch out for this green screen background we got going on.
For those of you that don't know, we were in America for 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks.
Well, they can't not know because the last 3 or 6 episodes have been over in LA.
Exactly. We needed 3 awesome people. We were supposed to have a 4th, but she got the old word that shan't be spoken.
Yeah.
The sickness, the flu that has impacted us all.
So we'll have to catch her at another date. But yeah, what a trip.
Very good trip. First time in America though. For me, yeah.
I did a couple of weeks there several years ago, but this was different. This was like business.
Yeah.
But oh my God. So where do we start?
Bit of a shithole.
Oh yeah. What about your flight?
Oh no. I've thought about it so little.
Your flight. So we didn't fly at the same time.
No.
Byron flew. So we went over with our manager, Rico, and another artist, like a musician that Rico represents, Ben. And those 3, Byron, Rico, and Ben were flying at the same time. I was flying the next day.
Yeah. So we rock up to the airport and again, I've never been to America before. Yeah. And I guess I just haven't traveled a hell of a lot. I went to Europe, but that was all through Kentucky.
Yeah.
So it was managed. So I went to lots of different countries for 1 or 2 days. Been to a bunch of Asian countries, but majority with my family. And so I guess...
in Bali, your visa... Well,
yeah. I mean, this is the thing. And so we rock up, and I was like, man, have I got everything? I had everything. And they were lining up, and we were like, oh, do you have a visa? And I was like, what do you mean? Do you need a visa? He's like, of course you need a visa. I was like, oh, do you need it now? Because all the other countries I've been to, you buy it when you get to the
arrival.
Yeah, you buy one when you go through all the customs and everything. And so our manager was like, that's all right, it only takes 5 minutes. And so we kind of get there and doesn't have a visa. Okay, so I get the form, I fill out the form, and you take a photo of your passport that you have to upload your passport.
Yeah.
Then using fancy technology, it scans your passport and pre-populates.
So helpful.
It's so helpful because it pre-populates your name,
typing out the numbers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it says, oh, Byron Dempsey. I'm going to fill that out.
Yeah.
And it puts a spelling mistake in my name.
Easily remedied, though.
It was I know. It was Byron Dempsey and then HR or something. I can't remember what it was.
IQ?
IQ, yeah, IQ. And it looks legitimate enough that I did see it. And I was like, I think it's supposed to be there.
I think it just means that they think that you're high smart.
Yeah, they were playing on my ego or something. Yeah. Anyways, so I send that through and then nothing's coming through and it cost me $30.
And you're at the airport at this point.
Yeah, so I'm not stressing too much yet.
Yeah.
And then I go, all right, I'll send another one. Let's just do another one as backup. And so you pay for the express version, which is $110. I'm like, oh, all right, I'm just going to do this because I've made a mistake. $110.
Yeah, own it.
But then we're like, well, does it even matter? Because there's only one system. This is different companies, but it's all going through the same system. And it's all computer automated. And then Rico our manager spots the IQ mistake. He's, what's this? And I was like, I don't know. It's just supposed to be that.
I didn't know that he spotted it first.
Well, no, he kind of pointed it out. I was like, yeah, I don't know. It was like, I don't know. Anyways, it seems stupid. But then we kind of rock up and we're like, well, it's not going to go through because it's all computer automated. And they're going to see it's not going to match up with the passport. And so we go, so we go up to the front desk and we're like, here's that issue. And they're trying to help. And they give us what they shouldn't have done. They gave us a number to Esther, which we're not allowed to have.
Esther is the company that does the visas.
So we call him and he's super upset. He's like, you should have this number. I was like, mate, just please help me out. I was like, can you cancel my application so I can resubmit it? He's like, we can't do it. How do you cancel it? He's like, just follow the website. I go on the website, you can't cancel it. Right. Everything's like, you can't cancel. And I'm like, oh shit, might find out in 20 minutes at this point. And then eventually it gets to the point where we were stopping over in Korea. And so they were like, well, why don't you get a Korea visa? So hopefully you can just get on the plane. And by the time you get to Korea, the American ones come through. And we're like, all right, let's do it.
That's a genius idea.
And the woman there, I think she was Korean. So she had connections there. So she's like, if you submit it, I will call them up and I'll get them to do it faster. And I was like, beauty. So I pay another $30, submit my Korean passport. In order to submit it, you have to take a selfie. And to take a selfie, it had to be less than 100 kilobytes. Not megabytes, kilobytes. Do you know how small that is? To give you reference, an iPhone's 2.5 megabytes, which is 2,500 kilobytes. So I had to compress this thing by 99%, which I couldn't even do. Eventually, I compressed it through a software, and then she had a good idea to send it via email as a small attachment. This took me 10 minutes. I upload it.
This person came up with a Korean idea and the email idea.
Yeah. She's coming. They were great.
Yeah. Did you take their name down and give them a...
No, I just covered it right. I'm starting to stress at this point. At this point, Ben and Rico, they've gone.
Yeah.
They've left me in the dust. And I'm like, just go, boys, save yourself. And so, anyways, I'm stressing heaps. We're 5 minutes before closing. Gates closed. Nothing's come through. And sorry, we're going to have to cancel your flight. I was like, oh no. Then my Korean one comes through. I'm like, holy shit, Korean one's through. Like, okay. And I go put my bags on, and then she goes, oh, I'm sorry, we already cancelled your flight because you weren't going to make it.
And so does that mean they gave your seat to someone else?
They just means I cancelled it. I don't know. Like, I couldn't be in the system. I tried. And at this point, I admitted defeat. And there's all these, the story's longer, but there's all these false hopes. And we ended up cancelling my essay and resubmitting it. And eventually they came through like 30 minutes after the flight. No, not the flight, the gate had closed.
All right.
And so like, I could have made the flight easy, but the system had closed. So yeah, that was my story. So I go to Flight Center. I say, hey man. He's like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, look, I'll be honest, not very good. Yeah, we get that a lot here. And so I'm like, I just need a flight to LA as cheap and as quick as possible. But I ended up getting a pretty well-priced flight at 2:00. And I ended up beating...
Same day.
Yeah, I beated the other guys because our flight was a more direct flight. So
there you go.
That was the start of my trip.
It was just a $1,000 mistake.
Yeah, a little bit more.
Weird. Oh man, so stressful.
Yeah, it's the most stress I've been in a long time.
Yeah, and I'm just like seeing the group chat as this is unfolding.
Chaos.
Because like I've tried fake crying.
Yeah, I was playing like the victim big time. Like I knew it was my fault, but I was just like, guys, please, can you do anything? It's like there must be something. Like we're so sorry. And I was like evil. I was like walked out with like hunched shoulders with like a lip. All right, and once I was out of sight, I was like, all right, let's move on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was rough.
Damn.
So yeah, then we arrived at America.
And we got there.
And
I showed up a day afterwards.
But LA's a bit of a shithole.
Freezing cold.
Freezing.
In none of the movies do they ever depict LA as being anything other than like sunshine, beaches, like super nice.
We get like storms. We had like
freezing cold, rained the whole time.
Pretty much.
We were there for almost 2 weeks and it rained almost every single day.
Yeah.
And in LA, it's not like, oh, it's raining, whatever. It's like, no one drives because they're like, oh, it's too dangerous.
And also they don't go out.
They don't go out, they don't do anything.
Because they're not used to the rain. So when the rain comes, they're like, oh, just stay in.
Yeah.
And so it was just...
snowed. It snowed in Hollywood.
Snowed, yeah.
Which is apparently never happens. So what was the itinerary of the trip? We had, the apartment.
The apartment was a shocker. We were going budget. So we went to Airbnb.
There's 4 of us.
One key,
not only just to get the apartment, that's the only way we can get into the building.
Yeah. So it means at all time we had to be navigating who was going to be at home or who had the key.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd be stuck.
I didn't have a phone. So I was like...
you didn't have signal.
I didn't have anything. So I was like, Byron, can you hotspot me? Like, every 5 minutes. So the apartment was fucking woeful. Oh, the fire alarm went off. At 3 a.m. in the morning.
Yep. And then went off again.
Just to add insult to injury.
Yeah. It was also just a shocking apartment.
Yeah.
No light switches. There were no lights in the apartment. There's just like lamps spread throughout the apartment.
And it still wasn't cheap. LA's...
Yeah.
Like, America is
unbelievably expensive.
It's like what is the exchange rate? It's like 0.7, I don't know, or something like 0.7.
It's like the same prices as Sydney, plus tips, plus tax, plus exchange rate.
Yeah.
So a $20 meal becomes like 33 or something.
At least.
And you add all of that on
It's
top.
almost like double.
Yeah.
Like, so expensive, shit apartment, raining.
Yeah.
Fucking LA is massive. I didn't realize how big and hard it was to get around.
Traffic is unbelievable.
We were catching Ubers every day.
Ubers are so expensive.
And it was like $60 minimum way.
Yeah.
So eventually we were like, no, we need to hire a car.
However, Venice Beach was beautiful.
Venice Beach was cool.
Venice Beach is sick.
We were like, all right, we've got to do something while we're here. So we filmed some Factor Cap. We had a sign.
We did a live Factor Cap. Yeah.
Which is, we were like, win $1, like true, like Factor Cap.
Yeah. And we were doing all the best hits from the podcast. So if you're a long-time listener, you brought out, what did I do? The Airbnb sex...
The Airbnb sex scandal.
The chicken.
Mike the Headless Chicken, the monkey prostitutes.
Oh, the monkey prostitutes, the bamboo.
Yeah. Have we even done monkey prostitutes on the pod? Or was that a live show?
I don't know.
I think it was a live show. Oh. So that's what to look forward to.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that was kind of fun. Americans are so... I mean, I guess they're just wilder.
We just go
more interesting.
They're either really nice or the opposite.
Yeah.
There wasn't too much in between.
It's either like the nicest person you've ever met or an asshole.
Which is crazy because Americans, when they come to Australia, are always like, Australians are so nice.
Right.
Like maybe it's just when you're traveling, you just meet.
Sure, and people are more friendly.
But like Venice Beach was so expressive. Everyone was so
colourful and
doing art and dancing. And you play music, everyone comes up to you and like introduces himself. Like there was just like this community that doesn't exist here.
Yeah. Oh, we yet to find it.
Yeah.
In-N-Out Burger?
What do you think? Great.
Yeah.
Great.
That was the only affordable meal.
Even then it was
like $10,
which becomes 16, 17, which is an expensive fast food.
You know, you're supposed to tip the when you order fast food
Psycho.
at the counter. It's like, how much do you want to tip?
Yeah. And what do you mean? You just press some buttons and like processed it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm like,
you didn't even move.
Yeah, I'll tip you if you come up and give me a good service.
Yeah.
Hooters, we gave them a good tip.
Oh, we went to Hooters. That's hilarious.
But like the tipping is crazy over there. It's so weird. And they it's so awkward when they like flip the screen and it's like a tip and you've got to reject them
And you just have to.
and you know they're getting like $7 an hour or something.
Rico was like, I just look at them in the eye and press a 0.
Tipping was like, it's a weird thing.
It's so, and they're like, yeah, 20% is which is the go-to, which is psycho.
It is a huge amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hooters, we did go to Hooters, and it was kind of creepy.
There's a lot of families at Hooters. Like it's just like a casual restaurant. There's nothing. There's so many families and kids everywhere, and the costumes are so much skimpier than I realized. Like I thought maybe the movies wasn't the same, but like, oh my god,
Yeah.
they're very revealing costumes.
It's kind of gross. But we met Dev. We interviewed Dev, we interviewed Jo, and we interviewed Xuan. Good interviews. 3 of the most, like interesting people that we've talked to, and it's obviously cool to be able to talk to people doing stuff over there and get their insights, but
there really is a bigger community over there.
Huge,
like
big time.
We met 1 or 2 and they were like, I can introduce you to this person, this person, this person, and we couldn't leverage it because we were only there for a week.
And it was raining. Everyone
was
was
raining.
like, oh.
So we were like, let's go out, but then it was like thundering storms and like trees were like just like flowing everywhere. Yeah, it was just crazy. So yeah, it wasn't the best time in LA, but it was good. There were good moments.
We tried to stay positive.
Yeah.
Vegas trip.
Vegas was sick. Except very long.
So we got in the car and we drove 4 hours to see,
like 6 or 7.
I mean, including stops.
Yeah.
Because Nick Grove, friend of the podcast,
friend of the show. Yeah.
Probably the most valuable contributor to the show. Nick was in Vegas and he was like, "Hey boys, I've got you a present, but you got to come to Vegas to get it."
Yeah.
And so like 6 hour, we turn up. Nick's like, "You drove all this way. I booked you a hotel room," because we were going to like sleep in the car. He's like, "I booked you this hotel room," and we go up and he's there. He's like, "Oh, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, here's your present." And so we have,
our present was,
I couldn't believe this. So damn cool.
Custom made Byron and Pace figurines.
So he asked us to send him a picture of us. Hold on, what camera we do? This one. So this is me, apparently. And we've got cowboy hats as well. But so these, I'm assuming they'll be worth millions in several years to come.
And have really captured our features quite well.
Hold on, let's get it.
Got Pace's paciness.
Oh, look at that. Look at that guy.
They've given me a full afro, which is very nice.
I think it's called a Jufro.
A Jufro, yeah.
Yeah.
I got a very pointy nose. They've done pretty well.
But
considering what they had.
So this will be a new addition to our table if and when we get another one. But how's that? Quite cool? Oh my god. Anyway, point being, Nick bought us custom made toys, and I thought that was very sweet. And then we had a great and heartbreaking night.
Yeah, Vegas is ruthless. It's $25 minimum.
$25 spin
on anything. On roulette.
Who's got that kind of money?
Roulette,
in Australia, it's
blackjack.
like $5 max, or not max, but like you can get $5 hits.
Even a casino, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's 25 US.
Yeah.
So it's like 35 minimum hits, which is like usually my spending budget.
Yeah, exactly. We're like, so we set aside, we're like, oh, we'll get $200 out.
It's like 8 hits.
If you have a bad run, that's it.
Yeah. And we did have a bad run.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah.
So,
oh my God.
the Vegas is fun. You get free drinks in a way. I guess you pay for drinks with your losing money. Man, you must be on a high.
You don't have to tip for the drinks.
But if you're making money and you're getting the drinks, you must be on such a high.
True.
Because then you're getting drinks.
That's what you're chasing, I guess.
Yeah. So Vegas was fun, but then worst day of my life afterwards because we stayed out late and we had to drive back the whole way.
Yeah, we had to be up at 8 o'clock and then drive back, which was hard.
But yeah, anyways, New York.
Da-da-da. One thing we learned is early flights. Never get early flights when you're on like a tour business trip thing. It's hard. It's like shocking because you leave because you don't know where you are. You don't know what city you're in. You don't know how long it's going to take you to get places. So you leave early. You leave extra time. And if you go 6 o'clock flight, you're leaving the house at like 3 a.m. in the morning. And if you did anything the night before, it's just like, no sleep, whatever. So we catch a flight to New York.
Yep. And then New York is awesome. New York is everything and more.
Yeah, New York is...
You grow up watching New York in Australian movies and stuff.
It's the
greatest... Australian movies. But in Australia, you watch all the American movies and you're like, oh, I wonder what it's going to be like. But it's freaking huge. It's like 6 Sydneys in different sections.
But it's unbelievable. It's like, you see it in the movies and you're like, oh, it can't be that good. But then when you get there, it feels like you're in the movie.
Stuff happening every night. Tuesday night, there's just like clubs and like comedy on and like jazz bars or like all these unique stuff on.
Do we talk about the first night?
What was the first night?
The jazz?
No, there wasn't that stand-up comedy first night?
No. The first night was jazz bar.
Jazz bar, yeah.
I don't know if your brand can withstand the...
Oh, we went to a jazz bar.
Yeah, but did we do anything to it? And
We had some gummies, some edible gummies.
so we were like walking around Times Square, and
There's weed everywhere.
and it smells like weed.
Everyone in America smells like weed from where we went.
Which is kind of weird.
It is weird.
How
There's
normalized it is.
there's also weed stores at every corner.
Yeah.
Like dedicated weed stores. We went to, in Venice Beach, they had an ice cream store and they had an upsell of add weed to your ice cream.
Yeah, I like milkshakes. So we go into this weed store, and it's like a cosmetics boutique. It's like a perfume store.
The man comes, he's like, hello, sir. May I have your ID? Of course. He's like, what are you after today? Just some weed, please. Follow me.
He's like, oh, I thought you'd never asked.
Yeah, right this way. And what are your as he's walking, like, what are your tolerances, gentlemen? Oh, very low.
yeah.
Well, very, very low. Okay, well, we have 3 different options. And he like hands them out, like,
And it's like packets of gummy, like lollies.
yeah, all like branded, different brands.
Yeah.
It's like, well, which brand would you like? And we're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
So we may have had a gummy before going to a jazz show at Birdland, which is like a famous jazz club. So we sit down, like everything's fine. We've had the gummy like half an hour before, and we're like, yeah, whatever. Like we might get a little bit of a buzz because we got like the lowest strength.
Yeah, we got the smallest.
We got the smallest, lowest strength gummies. And we're having a conversation, and Rico, our managers, he like, it eventually
Out of nowhere.
we're still waiting for the band to come on, and our manager out of nowhere just starts having this really serious conversation. And it's like, all right, Byron, like over the next 6 months, I need you to do this, and this, and like we've got to work on this, and Pace, like you got to start doing this, and all of a sudden, as this conversation's heating up, I'm just like, oh no.
Yeah. It's so.
I know.
It's in me as well. I can see it. And then as soon as he finishes, like Pace hops up and goes to the toilet, and Rick, our manager's just like, is anything right? Is he all right? I'm like, look,
He's feeling what I
yeah, at least feel what I'm feeling. He just needs a moment to himself.
But he was talking at me, and I was like, oh, please, not now. And I was like, I was so in my head, I couldn't find the words to say like, hey man, like we should probably have this conversation another time.
We're in New York. We're here watching some jazz.
Yeah, like I'm high as balls right now. But I was so like paranoid, or like, I don't know what it is because I don't really smoke weed, but like I was so caught up in my head, I couldn't say anything. I was just like, oh God, stop talking, please.
Yeah.
And he would ask me questions, and it would take me like a minute to reply.
And then he asked me to like email someone, and it took me like 10 minutes to find the email. And I'm just like, wait, what was their name? And because it wasn't by their name, it was like, and I was like, oh.
But anyway, Jazz Club was unbelievable. Like just a weeknight, you just show up, and it's like the best music you've ever seen.
Then I went to stand-up comedy. Oh no, improv show for $8, which is
Just showing $8, and it's a whole night of improv comedy. It's like, whose line is it anyway?
yeah.
Just like
Those doing skits and stuff is hilarious.
Smash Burger.
Oh no,
Byron made a huge error. Biggest mistake of the trip, mate.
yeah, the worst food I had in America. Because everyone's like, so that's always a question you get. How's the food in America?
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. It's like, not like,
There's just more fast food options.
There's just more fast food options, yeah. And it says less healthy options, probably.
Totally.
Even the portions didn't blow me away. I thought the portions, everyone's like, the portions are like triple. I was like,
The drinks are huge.
the drinks are huge, but like, yeah, so we get this burger, and there's one on the option called a macaroni and cheese burger. And it's just 2 patties with macaroni and cheese.
No, it's good. Smack and cheese. Good Smash Burger.
Oh, and I was just like, oh.
And I saw it, and I looked at Byron, and I was like, oh, look at that one. And whatever. And then
I'm not going to get that.
I went to order, and I just ordered a normal cheeseburger.
Yeah.
And then last minute,
I'm going to say something. I'm like, macaroni and cheese. Just like, I had to do it. I was like, oh, I'm only here for one chance. And then it was the most disgusting thing I've ever had. It was just like I could feel myself getting heartburn. It was like all fat, no tomato or anything. So like just offset.
mac and cheese and beef.
It was just patty, mac and cheese at the top. And then like sugary bread, and it was filthy.
But the one thing I wanted to do in New York was to have a street hot dog.
That was amazing.
And that was out the Jazz Club.
That was incredible.
Yeah.
Again, disgusting, but also delicious.
Hit the spot.
Yeah.
And we filmed street content
in
New York.
in Washington Park. And then we so something we're looking at doing is we want to start, and you'll start to hear it. We're doing our first live show next week.
Yeah.
And we're introducing a blind dating segment. Just because we think it'd be a lot of fun. We've seen some other people been doing it, and it looks like a fun thing to add. We're adding our own twist to it, adding our own kind of Byron and Pace flavor.
Yeah.
But we went to a live dating show in New York because they happened to be hosting one, and we're like, well, let's go check it out, see how other people run it.
Yeah.
And so we're like, oh, we'll go along. And then we happened to know someone who knew the guys, and you were like, oh, Byron, you should go on the show.
Yeah.
And so I ended up, long story short, I ended up going on the show. And it was great. It was super fun. And like we hit it off with the girl, we had a good time. And then we all went out afterwards, and people were like buying me drinks because they're like, "You're the guy to say." We're just like, "This is cool. We're gonna meet a whole bunch of people." But the show was super fun.
And I wonder if it will be as fun in Australia, because I just feel like people in America are just like wilder.
I think, yeah, but you can set the tone. I think New York does have those wild people.
Well, that's one of the things we want to try and find the right people. If you're listening to this, you're in Sydney, and we've got live shows coming up for the next 2-3 months.
Yeah. So if there's anyone in Sydney who's single and they want to come on and like give it a crack, then like come on the show. We'll partner you up with someone, and you can do a blind date in front of people.
And we just announced the shows that it's like in our link or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's one every fortnight for the next 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So come down, even if you don't want to come on the dating show, just like come down. It's free.
Tickets are free.
Tickets are free,
Completely free.
but there's super limited capacity. It's only like 60 seats or something, maybe 70.
And so tickets are free. So it's first in, best dress.
Yeah. And I think we're almost sold out the first show, but there's loads of spaces left for the following shows.
So yeah, that's New York.
Yeah.
Good fun.
And then how was your trip home, Byron?
Oh man, I had the worst trip home. So it took me 4 days to get home. I mean, there's other ones like, just like summarizing. Again, you just want to cheap out on tickets, man. We were so budgeted this whole trip. So I did fly from New York to LA, spend a night over in LA, fly LA to Hawaii, a night in Hawaii, then Hawaii to Sydney, minus a day from the time zone.
Because in the time zone.
It's just 4 days. And I was budgeted, so I called like buses I stayed in hostels.
And it would have been like an extra $500 to maybe $1,000 to get a direct flight home. Do you think it's worth it?
500 definitely.
Yeah.
Well, because just I was staying in hotels. We've got 2 hotels, meals. You couldn't work for 2 days. So, yeah, it was shocking. It was a shocker.
You always see those flights and you're like, is it worth it? Is it not?
Ended up going out in LA, which is fun. Went to an American bar. A lot of middle-aged women there hitting on me.
Nice.
It was very awkward. Yeah. It's like kind of grind up on you.
That happened to us in Nashville.
These people are very confident.
And they just keep grinding.
They just keep doing it. You're just like,
I was like getting pushed off the dance floor.
Yeah, I was like, what do I do here? Like, it's super awkward. I guess that's what people experience all the time.
I mean, that's grinding, isn't it? Is that what grinding is?
But they all seem to have the same method of just coming up. They just like reverse up onto you. Just kind of like just put their ass on you and you're like, what do I do? And you kind of just like keep dancing like it's not happening. And then they just go on to their next victim.
Yeah.
And I guess they just tried enough until they hit someone. But like, I respect
You got to respect the hustle.
the hustle, yeah.
Yeah, it's very American. Sorry, what?
Respect the grind. Respect the grind. Come on. Fair play.
God damn it.
Missed opportunity there. Brilliant.
But yeah, that was the trip. And we had a lot of meetings and stuff and tried to nail some things down for both like Driven Young and Byron, your brand.
Yeah.
And then I did a bunch of music stuff and went to Nashville afterwards, which is the coolest place in the world.
But yeah, so that was kind of, again, it's just a bit of an update episode. We're not doing Fat Like That. There's so much content coming out. We got live shows coming out. All episodes after this, we got heaps of American clips if you haven't heard them already. Yeah. So we just give a little update. So if you enjoyed this episode or not too much. If you want to switch off and just hear what we're up to, but that was our American trip. So overall, 6.5.
6.5.
I mean, it depends. Like, I guess I got to interview a lot of cool people. There were some cool opportunities.
Yeah.
But
if I didn't go to Nashville afterwards, it would have been like a less than 5. Yeah. A sub 5.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Nashville really saved it for me.
Yeah.
Man, America's expensive. It's big.
America is great if you're rich.
Don't go there without a plan, because
more money.
Yeah, I know. Fuck. All right. Well, shout out to our American listeners.
Yep.
Sorry that we ragged on your country.
Yeah. No, it was fun. It was interesting. It was good. But yeah, we got live shows coming up. So it's gonna be super cool.
Yeah.
And
we'll be back to regular scheduling.
We'll see you then.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.